If you think back to your childhood, can you ever remember a time when somebody asked you about what you wanted to be when you grow up?
Odds are you probably can, but what did you say?
Although there are always exceptions, the phrase, "when I grow up, I want to be," is generally followed by a certain occupation, career, or some other sociological status related to the workplace.
Since a person's career is seemingly so important to their identity, let's take a look at the steps an individual takes throughout their life to reach these work-related goals.
There will be aspects of life that will boost your progress, aspects that will set you back, earned advantages and unearned advantages, and things will most certainly not be fair. You could even look at this through the lens of a race.
Each born on the same day, let's watch and compare the experiences of these 6 individuals as they work towards their career goals.
It's time for phase 1, successfully completing a job interview.
Wow, looks like number 1 is really struggling. Let's take a closer look.
Uh-oh, it looks like she's hit her first glass ceiling.
A glass ceiling is an unofficially acknowledged barrier to advancement in a profession, especially affecting women and members of minorities.
While these obstacles can affect different groups of people for various reasons, to keep things simple, we're just going to focus on the effect that this has on women.
Women like runner number 1. She's having a really hard time climbing the ladder.
Why is that? What makes breaking through the glass ceiling so difficult?
One part of it is socialization. Socialization is the process whereby individuals learn the culture of their society.
This plays a huge role in the glass ceiling because the agents of socialization, things like family, religion, peers, mass media, and schools, tend to socialize individuals into certain gender roles based on their biological sex.
Stereotypically, traits associated with men are tough, aggressive, and decisive, which are traits that go hand in hand with competence and leadership.
This can make it more difficult for women to pass through phase 1 of the race or do well in a job interview.
Often unaware of certain preconceived notions, interviewers or hirers may be more inclined to hire a man over a woman due to the certain characteristics they hold because of their socialization.
Is this the only factor in getting hired? Of course not.
In plenty of cases, the most qualified candidate happens to be a man, but we can't ignore the bigger picture.
For example, let's look at education, a key component of what makes one qualified for many of today's professions.
This graph shows that more women obtain a bachelor's degree than men.
While there are plenty of other factors besides earning a degree, some research shows that no matter how qualified you are, the most influential thing on your resume could be your name.
When we say name, what we really mean is the gender associated with your name. In research laboratories and major American universities, professors were looking to hire lab managers and were sent the exact same resumes with different names on them. The resumes with male names garnered more offers, better pay, and more mentoring opportunities than the female candidates. So let's move on to phase 2 of our race, promotions.
Uh-oh, number 3 seems to have fallen behind. Let's take a look at the different factors that are making it harder for her to climb that next step.
It is hard to get the promotion you have been working for when no one sees or recognizes your hard work.
Many women are faced with this obstacle, since they tend to take on jobs that are more support-based because they feel they are expected to do so, or that it is necessary for the project's success.
These type of efforts often go without reward or recognition, and are often referred to as invisible work.
Even if women try to combat this obstacle and make sure their work is noticed, it can be easily scrutinized, and they are often seen as bossy, bitchy, or controlling.
If women are seen as bossy, bitchy, or controlling when leading, then getting a promotion to a higher-up job is more unlikely.
If we look at data of women in higher-up positions, you can see how outnumbered they are.
Women comprise only 10% of senior managers in Fortune 500 companies, less than 4% of the uppermost ranks of CEO, president, executive vice president, and COOs, and less than 3% of top corporate earners. This trend is essentially inescapable as it is presented even in female-dominated occupations such as teaching.
Data shows that although men make up only 16% of all public elementary school teachers, they make up 41% of all public elementary school principals. Of course, promotions or titles are not the only way to measure advancement in one's career. Each individual has their own set of goals and priorities.
Many people's career goals are centered around being able to better care for their family. This can involve sub-goals such as getting a certain amount of time off or earning a certain salary.
This brings us to the third and final phase of the race, financial fulfillment.
Wow, number 6 was way ahead of number 5, but she's now falling behind. What's going on there?
Let's look. Oh, she's an athlete.
For example, take the U.S. women's national soccer team and the men's soccer team. Members of the U.S. men's soccer team earn an average of $263,320, while members of the U.S. women's national team earn a maximum of $99,000. Members of the women's team earn 38 cents to the men's dollar.
Clearly, there's a big discrepancy between men and women in Phase 3, just like there was throughout the entire race.
Although you probably didn't notice at first, since these barriers are not officially acknowledged, women face added difficulties in most, if not all, of their career-related endeavors.
Overall, if problems like the glass ceiling are not addressed or fixed, gender inequalities will continue to be a prominent problem in our society. It creates an environment that is unfair to women.
Intelligent, qualified women are deprived of opportunities to get to do the great work they are capable of, and their hard work is discouraged.
Still don't think the glass ceiling is a problem?
Well, the next time you need a doctor, lawyer, police officer, or firefighter,
ask yourself again whether or not it's important that people get hired based on qualifications and not gender.